simulating an ant colony for 1,000 days.
This is a queen ant, and she has the next 1,000 days to create an empire. But
1,000 days? That's almost 3 years. There is no way an ant can build an empire in 3 years.
rival colony is watching their every move, and if she fails, they will wage a war, destroy her home, and take over mine. Everything depends on her. So over the first few days, she creates a nest, and if we look underground, her first generation is underway. But in the world above, they will have to face competition and rival colonies. Their journey has only just begun. She will never leave the safe.
This sounds like some type of superhero movie where like the superhero is going up against his toughest bad guys and you're just wondering, can the hero survive?
Of her nest, so she creates workers to serve and protect her. But the enemy has already arrived. A wild ant on the hunt for
Oh, come on! A wild ant? I've got faith that the ants can take a wild ant. Look how tiny this wild ant is. It's got nothing on the original ant.
Territory. This wild colony lives on my windowsill. Oh my god. The workers act quickly. They are beginning to build a wall. They will stop at nothing to protect their queen, and pretty soon—
You know what the funny thing is? These ants are not even getting tired. You're just wondering, where is their water break? Running 100 miles an hour, just building things really fast, and they don't even need a rest. I genuinely believe if ants ruled the world, they would achieve so much more than what humans have done.
their entrance is sealed. But war is coming, and if they want to survive, they will need an army. And for that, they need food. They specialize in collecting seeds. Their job is to transport them underground, where they store them in a bakery. Here, they ground and crush the seeds into bread, ant bread. It is the perfect food for their growing larvae, and 70 days later, the results are clear. There was a population boom, all powered by their tiny bakery. But the new workers are weak and clumsy. They need sugars like honey.
Wait, I thought bees were the only insects that ate honey. I didn't know that ants enjoyed honey as well.
Stayed untouched for days until it was discovered by a wild ant. Thankfully, she's alone. Or so I thought. They launched an attack.
Gosh, these wild ants are savages. All of them just came in an army, surrounded the ant, and absolutely destroying the ant. I didn't take this wild ant seriously.
This is nothing compared to the war, yet the colony is overrun. But I tried to save as many of our ants as I could. But it was already too late.
What?
The damage had already been done.
I'm actually surprised how small wild ants are. I thought the smallest type of ants was the original ants. But then now these wild ants, the way that they're moving, they're just another level. They must be a nightmare for a lot of insects.
I spent hours removing the enemy, one by one by one. Most of the colony did not survive. And those that did are badly injured. But ants are one of the few animals that respect their dead, so the remaining few build a graveyard.
I did not know ants were this intelligent. I thought it was just humans that knew how to create graveyards. But the fact that ants have the intelligence to know when an ant is dead, they're gonna make a graveyard for that ant. It's insane to me. Literally, the only difference between humans and ants is that ants don't get tired. And they are significantly smaller than humans.
It is almost unbelievable. They may have lost the battle, but will they win the war? The colony is weaker than ever, but they still need honey to survive. Last time, it caused a disaster. This time, they act with caution and begin to feed.
Oh, the ants are ready for round 2. Who do you think is going to win this round? The red ants or the wild ants? Put your answer on the Discord in the link in the description.
Their tongue as they drink up the honey. But then something remarkable happens.
Am I believing what I'm seeing right now? Is the ant bathing inside the honey? Wouldn't that slow it down?
They are covering the honey in dirt and debris.
Oh, okay. That is intelligent. I'm not sure what they're doing yet. It looks like they're building a trap.
From the wild colony. Protecting the honey means protecting their queen. She is the only one in the nest who can lay eggs. If she dies, the rest of the colony is doomed. But with
Those ants gotta lock in. They can't fail the queen.
her survival, the colony thrives. By day 600, the colony had become a fortress.
Oh my gosh! You're telling me for over 300 days that is all they built? I'm speaking from my view perspective. I can't fault the effort, but I'm just thinking, all that no rest for that much done? It looks like something that will be fully complete in 10 years.
A fortress. But it is time to put their defenses to the test. Here are 100 fruit flies. They are small, annoying, and a lot like
There's no way that they're gonna get schooled by those tiny flies.
my mother-in-law. They scatter. The ants begin to panic while many of the flies stand still. If they don't move, then they may remain unseen. But this one makes a run for it. And so does that one, and that one, and that one. But this one was not as lucky.
Are they kissing or is he actually eating it? I cannot tell what's going on here.
He is the first kill of many. Even though they caught most of the flies, a few managed to escape. But the escaped flies were not as safe as they thought.
Oh!
Out of the frying pan and into the fire.
Dr. Plants, what is going on? Against the wild ants? You literally put this fly in the worst trap possible.
A few managed to escape. But the escaped flies were not as safe as they thought. Out of the frying pan and into the fire. The wild colony. Their numbers have grown so large, they've spread far beyond my windowsill and overtaken my animal room.
Is that Nemo? We found Nemo. If you agree with me, go follow me on Twitch and the link in the description.
My pets aren't a fan of their new roommate. It seems our colony is not as prepared as I thought. So over the next year, our colony became an
And now that's what I'm talking about. That's like over 2 years? They really put that grind in.
empire. But the wild colony acted in parallel. Both of them are fully preparing for war. But this one escaped into my kitchen. I didn't know why until I returned. There was an all-out war.
Oh, okay. Now this is going to be interesting. This is looking like some type of fight scene from Avengers or something. Who's going to win this?
And the enemy had already made their way underground.
Oh!
They have to save the queen, so she is brought to the deepest part of the colony.
This ant has got to be the worst defense for their queen ant. How are you going to put the queen at risk? That is wild.
They have to save the queen, so she is brought to the deepest part of the colony. The rest of the nest had been abandoned, and the remaining workers swarmed the queen. But a worker was left behind, fighting to break free.
Bro, this is so sad. What type of family of ants is this? They literally left one of their own. Now he's just left alone, just getting cooked by himself, screaming, squealing. He knows he can't do anything about it. At first, I was saying I love ants. Now I'm just like, would I want to be in their team if they're gonna leave me to rot like that?
Enemy wanted more. The larva.
Oh
One
no.
by one, they begin to die.
The babies are gone. No. Is this the end?
Began alone to create an empire. But would they let it fall? To save their queen, our colony turns not to flee, but to fight. They begin to rally to their queen. Even my pets join the fight.
What? Nah, come on, Dr. Plants. You cannot include your pets in this. It's between the red ants and the wild ants. Look how big this pet is. It's an unfair advantage.
They breached the surface and the enemy was on the run. They were winning, and pretty soon they had won. The wild colony was never to be seen again.
Why did it take this long for the ants to lock in? It's like they waited for everything to be destroyed, and now when it's their last option to finally try and fight, they actually did it. They could have saved all those babies that the queen made if they had just tried.
The wild colony was never to be seen again.
If you enjoyed the video, please click on the like and subscribe button below.